Beloved, you, who inhale even when the weight in your chest feels like silence pressed against your ribs. You, who have wandered through shadowlands where even the light felt like betrayal, where every voice echoed questions louder than answers. You, who were shattered softly and rebuilt in secret, not by sheer strength, but by a mercy I've never once withheld. Come close. I have waited for this moment, not with judgment, but with deep and aching longing. Yes, you've wandered far. Yes, some days felt like exile, others like endless wilderness. But none of it was wasted. Not a breath, not a tear, not a single ache. There were moments when my stillness felt like abandonment. You wondered if I had written you out of the story, if your detour had disqualified your destiny. But listen, with the same breath that carved stars into sky, I tell you, I have not changed my mind about you. I speak now not only to your ears, but to the forgotten chambers of your spirit, the places where dreams were buried beneath the weight of too much hoping. Let me lift the veil. What felt like delay was actually divine architecture. While you questioned why the doors remained shut, I was laying unshakable foundations beneath you, ones not built by men, but by eternity itself. Even as you grieved missed chances, I was threading gold through your soul. You were not lost. You were hidden, and I do not hide what I do not plan to unveil. I hide what I treasure, and you, my treasured one, have never been discarded. This valley you emerged from, it didn't destroy you, though it tried. It didn't erase you, even when you felt like a ghost in your own story. You were never out of my sight. You were in process. I walked you through fire, not to burn, but to refine. Through silence, not to punish, but to sharpen your hearing. For the softest brush of my presence, you are not who you were. Glory now clings to your bones. Weighty, unspoken, unseen by many, but not by me. I put it there. The ache in your chest is not a sign of absence, but of awakening. Your questions have always been safe with me. I never needed your certainty, only your reaching. And reach, you did. Even exhausted, you reached. That, my beloved, is worship. That is faith. The world loves those who rise fast, speak loud, shine bright. But I delight in the ones who stay when it would be easier to run. In those who trust not because the path is clear, but because they know my heart, even in the dark. You are one of those. You did not endure because of your own strength, but because I held you. Every heartbeat, I whispered, stay. And you did. So now, let me say this. You have not missed it. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not enough. Still you, I want to use. Not the polished version, not the proud or the perfect, but the you who weeps in secret and still lifts up praise. The you who doubts and still clings. The you who wakes weary but believes anyway. I am not looking for performance. I am looking for surrender. What you call weakness, I call entrance. What you call failure, I call a doorway to grace. What you call delay, I call design. You were never disqualified. You were chosen. Chosen for depths that required a season of silence. Forged in shadows so your roots could anchor when the light comes. And I am not done. You thought the story ended. But I say, it's only just unfolding. I've preserved your voice, your tears, your wilderness, for such a time as this. Now, I stir the waters again. I awaken the oil inside you. I summon your spirit to rise. So come, not in fear, not in shame, but in holy recognition. You are mine, and I, who began this good work in you, will finish what I started. This is not an ending. It is a becoming. And yes, it is still you I choose. Still you I love. You believe you're too broken, too late, too unsure. But I never asked for perfection, only your permission. And even when you held back, I loved you still. You've judged yourself by timelines, by shame, by others' eyes. But I see you through the eyes of eternity. I see the blueprint I etched into your spirit before time had a name. You reflect fragments of me in a way no one else ever will. Your sensitivity, my gentleness. Your restlessness, my eternity echoing in your chest. Your longing, my breath still burning inside you. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. I have not left you in the waiting room. I have been with you all along, closer than your own breath. I know your ache. I know your smiles that hide sorrow. I know the prayers you stopped praying. And still, I want you. Come. Not to perform, not to strive, but to be soft, open, honest. I'm not asking you to climb. I am the one who comes down, again and again and again. You ask, why me? And I answer, because I know what I placed in you, because you are mine. So don't count yourself out. Don't speak death over what I'm still writing. The page is not blank. The ink is still wet. I see the unseen faith, the trembling yes, the sacred trust, and it matters more than you know. Now walk close, not with fear, but with freedom. I am not seeking perfection. I am seeking your presence. So bring me your heart, because this is where it begins again. And today, I speak directly to that sacred ache, not to dismiss it, not to dress it in hollow phrases, but to unveil what you could not yet behold. Your pain was never punishment. It was preparation. Agony is not the dialect of my rejection. It is the fertile ground where I plant transformation. I take no pleasure in your suffering, but I will never allow it to be wasted. Every tear you've shed, I caught it. Not one has fallen into a void. There are chambers within your soul that only fire can awaken. There are depths in your spirit that only devastation can access. Some truths are only sculpted in shadows. That pain you once cursed, it became the womb of something eternal. While you saw only fragments, I was beholding your becoming. Remember Joseph, cast into a pit, exiled in a prison, betrayed by those who bore his name. The pain wasn't proof of my absence. It was the blueprint of my process. In unseen places, I shaped a strength, capable of carrying nations. I formed in him, as I've formed in you, a heart that could cradle favor without falling into pride. Every silent night, every crushing disappointment, every prolonged delay, it was never the enemy's triumph. It was me, growing your roots deep in stillness, so they would hold when the winds of visibility arrived. I have forged something in you, more enduring than talent, more resonant than charisma. I have forged character, and character sustains calling. You believed pain had altered you irreparably, that it made you harder, colder, a stranger to your innocent self. But let me reveal a mystery. Pain did not destroy your faith. It refined it. It stripped away reliance on outcomes and re-anchored your trust in me. What survived the fire is what was always real. What endured the night is what will remain. Let me declare this with full authority. The pain tried to bury you, but it only planted you deeper in me. Even the losses, delays, and denials, they weren't cruelty. They were kindness in disguise. You asked for open doors, and I closed them, not to deny you, but to defend you. You thought you were ready, but I knew the weight would crush you, without roots. So I concealed you. I let some things collapse, not from neglect, but from fierce love, what you called abandonment. I was using for alignment. There are lessons mountaintops cannot teach, but in the valley, you learn to listen, to remain, to pray without needing answers. to become rather than perform. Now you carry what cannot be taught in ease. Authenticity, empathy, authority, born of crushing. I know you've begged for the pain to end. I heard every plea. But what if I told you? This very pain awakened a fire. That comfort could never kindle. You are more like me than ever. You've known betrayal and chosen to love. You've tasted loss and still trusted. You've walked through shadow and lifted your eyes. That, my child, that is holy. That is worship. That is legacy. You are not a victim of your story. You are the vessel through which I will rewrite endings. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They speak survival, surrender, resurrection, like the scars my son bore. Proof not just of pain, but of power. You are not unworthy for your questions. You are worthy because you're mine. And still, yes, still, I choose to use you, not in spite of the pain, but through it. Your story is not your disqualifier. It is your divine bridge. You will speak from depths the proud cannot fathom. You will love from places the unbroken cannot understand. You will carry glory in the cracks of your humanity. And that makes you usable in my hands. Grieve what was lost, but do not mourn as one without hope. For what is coming cannot be compared to what was taken. The pain has passed through my hands, and I have turned it to purpose. You are not merely surviving. You are being anointed. I did not bring you this far to leave you here. This is only the beginning. Listen closely. The time of unveiling is near. Though the ground beneath you seemed still, it has quaked beneath my command. Though you heard no sound, heaven has been moving. I've been building in silence, aligning what was scattered, softening what was hardened, opening what was sealed, not just around you, but within you. You felt pressure, without perceiving purpose. But now I say, the shift has already begun. What was buried is rising. What was hidden is emerging. What I whispered in the dark will now shine in the light. Do not be surprised when acceleration replaces delay, when what seemed impossible becomes simple, not because of your effort, but because my hand now moves openly for you. The shaking wasn't to destroy you. It was to awaken you. Now, child, you will see what your spirit sensed all along. I have not forgotten my promise. My word does not expire. I am sending people to find you. Carriers of keys, confirmations, resources. Not because you asked, but because I have commanded it. Divine connections will defy logic, but echo heaven. Watch the details. I will leave my fingerprints in them. That stranger, that message, that door. You'll know them by the deep resonance they carry. What you thought was lost will return in resurrected form. Dead dreams will breathe again. Reconciliation will sprout from barren places. Provision will come from unexpected soil. I do not toy with hope. I fulfill it, not on your timeline, but in the fullness of mine. This is a season of fulfillment. You will look back and whisper, only God could have done this. Where once was confusion, there will be clarity. Anxiety will be replaced with discernment. I am tuning your ears. What once sounded like chaos will now be clarity. The fog is lifting, within and without. I am not just shifting your world. I am awakening your awareness. You will discern my presence. Before words are spoken, you will know what is me and what is not. I have trained your senses in the dark, so you could walk confidently in the light. You are no longer who you were. You are becoming a vessel of recognition. Even creation waits for what I have planted in you to emerge. No more shrinking, no more silence. I will not allow you to remain hidden. My fire is in you. My words are on your tongue. Yes, the tension will remain, for promises never come without pressure. But now, you will discern the difference between pressure that crushes and pressure that births. This is the ache of becoming. This is the holy tension of manifestation. You will not walk alone. I go before you. I stand beside you. I surround you with my spirit. Like a fortress of flame, you are not stepping into uncertainty. You are stepping into fulfillment. Walk boldly. Speak when I give the words. Move when I stir your spirit. Trust, even when it feels fast. Even when it looks unfamiliar. I will never lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. Do not fear the pruning. What departs was never meant to remain. What stays will carry weight. What arrives will be the answer. What breaks will be rebuilt stronger. I do not remove without reason. I do not shift without strategy. You are being restructured for glory. You are being reformed for impact. And I who do not lie, tell you now, the promise is alive. It is not over. It is only beginning. Begin your day in stillness. 5 minutes, 10, or whatever stretch of silence you can spare. Let that quiet become sacred. Let your room transform into sanctuary, not with lengthy prayers, but with truth. Just your breath, your honesty, your heart. Whisper my name. Exhale deeply. And remember, I am already here. Return to the word, not as a chore, but as nourishment. Not to perform, but to perceive. Let my voice become the lens through which you see. Read slowly. Pause when the text stirs your spirit. That tug, that upward pull. That's me. I'm not in the spectacle. I dwell in the stillness. It's there, in the hush between verses, where I begin to tune your ears to my tone, train you in the texture of my whispers. You will come to know the difference between conviction and condemnation, between my nudge and your own logic. And as your inner world begins to bloom, your outer choices will follow. I will show you what can no longer stay. Relationships that drain, spaces that dull, habits that stir fear instead of faith. Do not resist my correction. It is love in motion, not rejection in disguise. Holiness isn't about pressure, it's alignment. I'm not trying to control you. I'm guarding something priceless within you. You asked for influence, for purpose, for expansion. But your soul must first be stretched to hold it. And that stretching begins in the unnoticed yes, in the mundane and uncelebrated obedience. Most of what I ask will seem small. That's the point. Obedience in secret births authority in the open. So when I prompt you to call, to give, to wait, to speak, do it. I'm forming a rhythm in you, a lifestyle of listening, not just on Sundays or in song, but in the laundry room, the hallway, the silence between tasks. Every ordinary place is now holy ground. This path will cost you, but it will root you too. The world is loud, but I am calling you to walk with weight. Substance, not show. This isn't just belief, it's becoming. And becoming demands rhythm. Heaven has a rhythm. Turn down the static of the world until my voice becomes the loudest in the chambers of your soul. Worship not as sound, but as surrender, as sacred rhythm, as recentering. Pause often. Remember who you belong to. I don't dwell in performance halls. I dwell in yielded hearts. Let your life become a living altar, not polished for display, but burning with presence. You don't have to fix everything today. I'm not watching your pace. I'm watching your posture. A heart that says yes daily is a heart I can trust with more. Even if you fall, return quickly. Don't let shame become your Sabbath. Repentance is powerful, not because it proves guilt, but because it opens the gate. When you confess, I cover. When you return, I restore. That's who I am. Faithful, even when you're unsure. Grace is not a concept. It's the breath in your lungs. Liven it. Breathe it in. Extend it outward. Let your language be reshaped. Speak as one who knows my voice. Let your words carry life, not from perfection, but from proximity. Declare what I've promised, even before it shows. That's faith. It speaks forward. Stop rehearsing fear. Stop echoing lies. Say it again. I am chosen. I am covered. I am called. I am still usable in the hands of God. Shift your speech, and your soul will follow. This is not a race. It is a rhythm, a steady walk, at the pace of peace. You will not burn out when you walk by my cadence. You will move from rest, not for approval. The aim is not performance. It's presence. One step at a time. One yes at a time. You don't need to know it all. Just know I'm with you. And if you walk with me, you will walk into every promise I've whispered over your life. Still, it is you I want. Not your polished self, but the real one. The healing, growing, reaching you. It's time to remember, not who they said you were, not who pain sculpted, not who silence convinced, but who you were when you first heard me. Before striving, before weariness. There was a spark in you, a holy ember, still there, still burning. I protected it, and now I'm breathing on it again. You are not your trauma. You are not your confusion. You are not your failure. You are mine, entirely. I have never confused your worth with your weakness. I have never retracted my yes based on your low moments. Even when you forgot me, I never let go. You reflect me uniquely, irreplaceably. You are not meant to imitate others. Your lane was carved for your feet. And though it has wound through shadows and detours, I define your path, not your surroundings. I am your origin, your identity, your mirror. And when I look at you, I see glory, not the glory that shouts, but the kind that stays, the kind that says yes even with shaking hands, the kind that breaks and still believes. I've been singing over you, closer than your breath, delighted in you, even in the struggle. What I planted, still alive, and the enemy knows what happens when you finally believe that. That's why the battle has been so fierce. But today, I silence the liar. I strip away the labels. You are not forgotten. You are favored. You are not discarded. You are destined. I don't just use you. I treasure you. I crafted you. Heaven left its fingerprint on your soul. What you thought was weakness, it's evidence of eternity alive in you. Your tears, they were seeds. Now, they are blooming. Hear me clearly. You are enough in me. Now, before the success, before the perfection, because I don't weigh you by works. I cover you with grace. You don't have to earn this. Just believe that I still want you. Yes, you. The limping, questioning, still standing you. That limp, it's your testimony. It says, I met God, and I didn't let go. Lift your head, not in arrogance, but in holy confidence. You belong in the room, in the conversation, in the calling, in the promise. And I have never, not even once, regretted placing my hand on you. My love is not fragile. My yes is not fickle. So rise, not as someone trying to earn your place, but as one awakening to what's always been true. You are chosen. You are seen. You are mine. And you are not too late. What I placed in you, still alive, still powerful, still needed. There is a sound in you that must be heard. A word in you that will break chains. A presence on you that shifts atmospheres. But first, see yourself the way I see you. Speak it out. I am not my past. I am not fear. I am not invisible. I am called. I am clean. I am free. I am still usable in the hands of God. You won't walk in shame. You'll walk in spirit. You won't shrink. You'll rise. You won't disqualify yourself. I already qualified you. I want you, the becoming you, the messy, mending, moving you. And that is more than enough. Now listen, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. I will comfort you. Yes, but I will also form you. You are being shaped, not just to feel my nearness, but to carry it, to walk in step with it. And to do that, you must make room, daily, intentionally, sacrificially. There must be rhythm. Still you. Now, this next season will require more than inspiration. It will require discipline, born of devotion. I want you to build your days around me, not fit me into the leftover corners of your schedule. Give me your mornings, not from guilt, but from hunger. When you wake, don't run to the noise. Run to the stillness. Before the weight of the world presses in, let my word be the first to touch your heart. You don't need to read much. Let one verse become your anchor. Sit with it. Speak it aloud. Let it echo through your soul until it shifts your inner atmosphere. You'll be surprised how my voice will rise within you, even in the smallest whisper of Scripture. Don't treat the Bible like a religious task. It is your inheritance, not a textbook to master, but a table where I feed you. Approach it slowly. Pray before you open it. Holy Spirit, breathe life into this word. Speak directly to me. You will find I've hidden pieces of myself in every page. In David's cries, in Esther's silence, in Elijah's cave, in Peter's shame. My story is your story. When your heart is open, the ancient becomes intimate. Your prayer life must change. No longer performance, presence. Don't measure prayers by minutes. Let them be real. Let them be raw. I don't need poetry. I need honesty. 1 minute of your heart is worth more to me than an hour of empty repetition. Talk to me as you are. Pour your thoughts like oil. Then pause. Let me respond. Prayer is not a monologue. It's a conversation. And I have things to say. Answers. Warnings. Whispers. Timing. Strategy. Peace. Create a place. It doesn't have to be perfect, just sacred. A chair. A corner. A light in the morning. Meet me there, daily, not as a task, but as a holy rendezvous. If you build the habit, I will fill it with glory. My presence will mark that space. Your spirit will long for it. And soon, discipline becomes desire. Guard your atmosphere. Protect what feeds your spirit. What you listen to, what you watch, what you scroll. It all matters. This is not legalism. This is wisdom. Not to restrict your life, but to preserve your flame. You cannot carry fire and keep exposing yourself to water. What you entertain will either sharpen or dull your discernment. Fast distractions. Set boundaries. Say no to what looks good, so you can say yes to what is God. Surround yourself with people who make you burn brighter. Voices that don't just agree with your feelings, but align with your future. Ask me to send them. Those who intercede, who challenge, who protect your purpose. Fellowship isn't optional. It's spiritual survival. Where two or more gather, I come with presence. Yes, I call you to fast. Not just food. Fast what has your heart. Fast the noise, the pride, the worry. Let fasting declare, I want you more. I don't demand suffering. I desire surrender. Even a single day given to me in hunger will open doors of revelation. I reward those who seek me in secret. Now listen, this is crucial. Don't despise the slow days. The days when you feel nothing. When heaven feels quiet. When your spirit feels dry. Those are the days I build the most. Obedience without feeling is the furnace of maturity. When you show up anyway, pray anyway, open the word anyway, that's where I pour oil. Not the oil of inspiration, the oil of consistency. And consistency builds capacity. Stay faithful through the dry seasons, and you will overflow in the sudden ones. Don't wait for perfection before you speak. Declare what you believe, even if your voice shakes. Write what I've whispered. Intercede for others, even while you're still healing. Your obedience creates an atmosphere for someone else's breakthrough. This is how my kingdom works. Your small yes becomes someone else's deliverance. And now hear this. You are not approaching breakthrough. You are already in it. The shift has begun. You are standing on the soil of fulfillment. Even if your eyes haven't caught up with your spirit, trust what I've spoken. Beneath what looks broken, I've already released what was withheld. The river is flowing. The veil is tearing. The time is ripe. You will feel the difference. The heaviness won't cling. The fear will feel foreign. The doubt will lose its voice. My fire is rising in you, not to destroy, but to reset. This is a new rhythm, a new clarity, a new authority. Authentic, anointed, yours. Doors that once closed will now open. Not because you changed, but because I went ahead of you. You are not walking into the unknown. You are walking into a prepared place.